It was like a Saturday morning, and my dad called me.
Answered the phone, and I got immediately, it wasn't, "Hi Josh," it wasn't anything like that. It was, "Have you seen the news about Israel?"
No, and I kind of like brushed it off because there's always something going on.
And she goes, "Go turn on the TV right now," and hung up the phone.
Breaking right now, war in Israel as the terror group Hamas launches a surprise attack.
אזרחי ישראל, אנחנו במלחמה, לא במבצע, לא בסבבים.
As the attack went on, sirens continued to ring for hours as far north as Tel Aviv.
Taking Israel by surprise during a major Jewish holiday. Now 13 and a half.
And then, like, really, I can't really give you my initial reaction because I didn't really have one. It was really just, I was blank. There was not a single thought in my head. It was just staring at a screen in utter disbelief because nothing like this has happened in my lifetime before. Welcome to this is my crib. My favorite color is blue and pink. I wear pink because my mom had breast cancer twice and just was a really big part of my life. But then the blue just because, you know, AEPI is blue. The Israeli flag is blue. Everyone affiliates blue with Jewish. So it's just kind of a thing that just kind of stuck with me. Parents got divorced when I was 4. Was kind of raised primarily by my mom. Just wasn't pretty, it just wasn't good. So kind of had to become an adult very fast because my mom couldn't do a lot. She was on bed rest, so I had to take care of my little brother, Zach. And that happened when I was around 10, 11. So I really didn't get to have a childhood because a lot of stuff kind of was thrown at me. That was adult stuff very soon. Really, like, this is what my childhood is. It's funny to say that, right? Like, I have to be an adult at school, but this is really my first opportunity for myself to start making decisions and start to have fun. Like, I didn't really make friends until high school. As I started to make more friends, I started to kind of understand what my place was. IDF shirt. My mom brought it back for me, so she went to Israel about 2 weeks before the attack happened. She got back right before Parents' Weekend, so she came here and gave this to me. And then at the vigil, my friend Ari and I both wore, and he spoke at the vigil too, we both wore IDF shirts. What it means to me is it just means a lot more, especially because, you know, my family has served in the Israeli Defense Forces. So when I wear it, it's more of a pride thing. My family did it, and it's like I'm representing my family rather than, you know, I'm just supporting, you know, Israel's right to defend itself. So it's kind of, you know, there's two meanings to it, but really it's the family aspect and why I do wear the letters, because my family fought with them. So gotta show my support in any way possible. I'm very proud of what I represent. I'm very proud of who I am, and I like to show that off. I don't know if you really can see it, but I wear my star out whenever I normally can, or when I'm not wearing a sweatshirt, like it's over my shirt. So I like the fact that people can identify me as a Jew. It's something I'm very proud of. I don't believe I should be afraid of that fact. And if somebody's, you know, gonna attack me for who I am, then they have the problem, not me.
I actually have something I made at Chabad, which is one of the Jewish organizations on campus. And I wrote my Hebrew name and then made this cute little painting around it. My Hebrew name is Maya Rachel. All parts of my name are named after someone in my family that's either passed on or like one of my parents' friends that have passed on, because in Judaism it's tradition to name someone after someone that's passed, and that's tradition for a lot of cultures, but it's really important for Judaism. So like my first name in English, Halle, is after one of my grandfathers who is nicknamed Hal, and then my middle name Rose is after my grandmom Rose, and in Hebrew it's Maya, which is after Morty, I believe, and Rachel or Rachel, which is after, I believe, Rose as well.
And my Hebrew name on the backside, or actually my middle name, same thing. And then in the actual tallis, it's in the bag itself, is the actual like cloak that you wear, and like it kind of just goes like that, and then this side, you know, that's the prayer that you're supposed to say before you put it on. And you kind of just like twirl it around yourself, and then it just kind of goes on over your head at the start, and then you kind of just pull it down, and then you wear it the entire time. And then in here is a yad, and when you read Hebrew, that's what you're supposed to use to, you know, read it. When I got here, going into, you know, my faith, being a Jew, I really didn't consider myself remotely close to religious. Not really till here. At 7, I'm going to Shabbat, and I do that now pretty much every Friday. Not even from like a positional standpoint, like representing a Jewish org. I do it because I enjoy it.
I have my mezuzah right here, which in Judaism is like a sign of like safety and like the idea that like God is like protecting your space. So you put it on the doorpost of your home. Oh my god, I hate Velcro. Oh. Okay, you can kind of see like here. I have a cut in my mouth. There's like prayers in there that you know, are like prayers of like protection or just general prayers you say in Judaism, and you put them in a little box and then you hang it up. And I think you're like technically supposed to hang it like sideways, like this, like a certain angle. You know, it's tradition to put it on your home, and my parents always told me growing up that Santa always knew to skip our house because there was a mezuzah on the door, which is kind of silly. I have a picture from Mitzpah Ramon, which is like the desert, which is probably my favorite place on the earth. It's so fun and different, and like I'm convinced that one day I'm just gonna live in the desert and walk around barefoot and be a little hippie. But you know, gotta do college first, so we'll see how that goes.
When I came in and I had my first high holidays at JMU, I was depressed, to say the least. I called my parents and I was crying. My dad was like, just do something about it. And I was like, okay. These kids aren't 11-year-olds, they're 18 and 19, like pretty much the same age as I am, but to know that they trust me and to know that they take my opinion as gold and like I'm important to them, that is like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's such a good feeling of like what I'm doing is making a difference, and it wasn't just for little freshman me that wanted this for myself, but it was also for people like the kids that I know now and the freshmen that I know now, and even sophomores and juniors and seniors that I know now that are impressed with what I'm doing and are thankful and grateful for what I'm doing.
As I stand up here now before you, all I can think about is my family. Currently, I have no idea where my cousins in Israel are. The last my family has heard from them is before they entered the reserves around 4 days ago. I sit awake at night, crying, thinking how I could feel such a strong connection to my people, and people I've never met before. The answer is Mishpacha, family.
The core value of Judaism is family. The term that I used in the speech was Mishpacha, which is the Hebrew word for family. And in Judaism, you are technically all one big family.
The only way we can support our brothers and sisters currently fighting for our people's survival is if we all stand united as one, fighting against all antisemitism as one Mishpacha.
A Jew is a Jew. Your family is really the term. You have your immediate family, right? Like your actual blood related people. But you instantly meet somebody that's Jewish it's an instant connection, it's an instant talking point. Like, I have family that's currently fighting. I've never met these people in my entire life, but I felt for them. I wanted to help them. They're like, why my family is in harm's way right now. Why am I feeling this sort of way for people I've never met before? And it's that in that core value that you were taught since the day you were born.
I live in America and experience the horrors of mass shootings and hate for all frequently. But this week, I have been more uneasy than ever. I'm scared to leave my home. I'm scared to go to class. I'm scared to go on Instagram. I'm scared to show my Jewish pride or my love for Israel while not hidden behind a screen. Nevertheless, I'll never be ashamed to be Jewish.
Like my friend Raina, who goes to Ohio State, was telling me that somebody at her school got beat up because he was walking around campus and somebody saw his Jewish star on his neck and just literally started beating him up, broke his nose, hurt him. Somebody broke into their Hillel and got past security somehow and damaged a bunch of the stuff inside, and that's an anti-Semitic attack. No matter how you feel about what's going on in the world right now, there's no reason to attack Jewish people.
I was playing fraternity flag football. It was nothing, no skin, nothing on the line, and all I hear somebody say behind me, and it said just so I can hear it, was, "You should have been burned in Auschwitz." That's been sent to the school, that's been sent to we reported that and everything. That kid has been kicked out of his fraternity. It became a very big deal. One of my great aunts jumped off of one of the cattle cars, pregnant, and then hid and was hiding from Nazis and had to raise her kid for 3 years out of a basement. The majority of jokes that are made at you that are anti-Semitic have to do with the Holocaust. And understanding the severity of that, people find it funny. People think it's funny, and it's not, at all. That's the one thing you can't talk about to somebody who is Jewish, because they have lost somebody, whether it's a close family member or it's, a friend that was close to the family. Every single person who is Jewish has lost somebody to that. It's a blessing and a curse, this whole concept of free speech, in my opinion. The ability to say what you want is beautiful, but that doesn't mean you can say whatever you want about somebody and think that it's not going to have implications. And it's just, why? What is, there's no reasoning behind hate.
You are president of Harvard, so I assume you're familiar with the term intifada, correct?
I've heard that term, yes.
And you understand that the use of the term intifada in the context of the Israeli-Arab conflict is indeed a call for violent armed resistance against the state of Israel, including violence against civilians and the genocide of Jews. Are you aware of that?
That type of hateful speech is personally abhorrent to me.
Students chanting, quote, "There is only one solution, intifada revolution," and, quote, "globalize the intifada." Is that correct?
I've heard that thoughtless, reckless, and hateful language on our campus, yes.
So based upon your testimony, you understand that this call for intifada is to commit genocide against the Jewish people in Israel and globally, correct?
I will say again, that type of hateful speech is personally abhorrent to me.
And she says abhorrent, it almost sounds like she's saying it doesn't mean anything to me. That's what I get from the word abhorrent. I know that's not what it means, but her constant usage of that word, I'm shut up. Use a different word, please. You're from Harvard. Get your dictionary out or something.
Does calling for the genocide of Jews violate Penn's rules or code of conduct? Yes or no?
If the speech turns into conduct, it can be harassment, yes.
I am asking, specifically calling for the genocide of Jews, does that constitute bullying or harassment?
If it is directed and severe or pervasive, it is harassment.
So the answer is yes.
It is a context-dependent decision, Congresswoman.
It's a context-dependent decision. That's your testimony today. Calling for the genocide of Jews is depending upon the context. That is not bullying or harassment. This is the easiest question to answer yes, Ms. McGill.
Both are the same responses of we condemn it, blah, blah, blah. Bullshit. You don't condemn anything. you're not doing anything for these students. Like, you're not supporting them. Like, we've gotten so much support from JMU, and I think that speaks volumes to not only JMU's culture, but just like how JMU is willing to support its students. To see presidents of schools where there are very high attendance rates of Jewish students is like, and like them like not treating them with respect is disgusting. Like, it's genuinely disgusting. And like, that's how I feel. That's how I feel about it.
So we're leaving tomorrow morning for the march in DC. I'm excited to go with the people that I'm going with. I think it'll be a good group of us. I trust them. I know that if I get like anxious in the crowd or something, that they'll be there for me, and you know, I can hold their hands or like hang on to them, like literally. Fingers crossed that tomorrow will be a good day.
This is about those of us who make up the rest of our family tree. This is about my friends at Columbia and the Jewish Theological Seminary. This is about students on campuses where they don't like what they see. This is about day schools and youth groups and gap years and camps and our chosen family. This is about you and this is about me. This is about all of us who came from around the country to cry out in the face of insanity. We are Jews proudly, and we will defend Israel loudly.
If 16-year-old me could have seen that today, like, she would have been so proud. She would have been so proud, and she would have been so impressed at the fact that I was able to push past, like, my anxieties and how I was literally, like, so afraid to go. Sorry. I was so afraid to go, and I still did. And I went with people that I trusted, and I'm just so grateful to have those relationships with those people that I trust, and to be able to, you know, like literally sit in my room tonight and know that like I literally made out of today alive, because I truly didn't think I would. Like, I didn't think that I could survive in America or in the world as a Jewish college student going to Washington, D.C. to express my love for Israel and my love for Jews, and I didn't think that I would be able to handle it, and I did, and I'm really impressed with myself. And I'm really impressed with like everybody that went with me. This lady comes to get on the metro, and her sign said, you know, something about, if you don't help to defend the Jews now, would you hide them? That's what people did in the Holocaust. In all the hate of the world right now, would you be someone to, would you stand up for your Jewish friends?
My non-Jewish friends, there are things they're not gonna get. The way I see it is, it doesn't hurt to at least try and educate them on it. Like my friend Will, when everything happened, like I called him and I said, I need to talk to you tonight. He saw how it hurt me. He then went and spent 3 hours of his own time doing his own research. What I'm gonna give you is a biased perspective. I'm not gonna give you the full story, because it's not the full story. I'm gonna tell you my personal, why I'm personally upset. He understood that and went and did his own stuff. If somebody cares about you, they will do the research on their own.
You need onion, flour or matzo meal, salt, pepper, and then you need oil, because you gotta fry them in the oil. Like, now I'm done with my final. I had my last final today at 12. So I've just been waiting to like be done, and then I was gonna do this as soon as I was done. I think when you look at Hanukkah and look at, you know, like the world today, you can really see the traditions of Judaism like carry through, and how like today we're looking at all this darkness in the world, but we can still take a moment to appreciate the light and appreciate the happiness in the world, and then continue on and like with our lives, I guess. Sometimes you just have to let things play out and just do what you can. And what I can do is make latkes. So I'm gonna make some pan latkes. Josh, come explain what Hanukkah is, why we eat latkes. Come on.
I don't know why we eat latkes.
Because of the oil. Explain the miracle.
I did.
Do it again.
It's the miracle of lights. So
It's the festival of lights.
The festival of lights. So the oil lasted 8 days. So we fried potatoes in oil because the oil lasted 8 days.
That was good.
Was it?
Being able to look ahead and be like, there will be light again, and we will make it through the darkness is like a beautiful thing to think about. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Chanukah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asa nisim lavoteinu bayamim ha'hem b'zman hazeh.